When you're baptized, you are born. Ever wonder why the amniotic fluid, for you mothers out there, is called amniotic fluid? You ever wonder why amnesia has the first 5 letters as amniotic fluid? It's because we've forgotten. We've forgotten this knowledge. Faith used to be easier because people knew all this. Now that brings me back to the question of Aquarius that you guys had earlier. Aquarius is the water. It is the water symbol. This is the age in which Jesus will return, because everything he did about water, remember the woman at the well, that's another water story. Everything he did, washing the feet, exactly, Timothy, everything had to do with water. Aquarius. And watch this. What was I going to show you guys? Remember that, let's see here, before the appointed time. Okay. Matthew 8:29. That's what I was going to show you. Remember this story? No one knows the day or the hour. This is why I tell you guys, none of the Bible patriarchs named an exact date. None of the prophets named exact dates of the future. If you can name one, I could be wrong. But as a general rule, they did not name dates. So anytime I see date setting, everyone's talking about 9/23, I've learned to not fall for it. Have you come here to torture us before the appointed time, not proper time? Again, you got to look at the correct translations. And the King James isn't always right. But we're going to use it in this instance because the demons said to Jesus to kill us before the appointed time. Let's see here. And what did Jesus say? Where is it? Okay, here it is. Okay, remember he's casting out demons here? Tormentest us before the time. What time were they talking about? Obviously, they knew it wasn't time yet. So they had a general idea of when the end would come. Though they didn't know the day or the hour, they could have known the age of Aquarius. They knew it wasn't the time for them to die, to get their torment, to get their punishment. So what did Jesus do? Keyword being time, right? Remember that word. He said, he cast them out into a herd of swine. How many swine did he cast them out into? Well, this is why we're given several witnesses in the Bible. This verse, and why did they run down into the sea? Remember the water, okay? Perishing in the waters. I'm going to explain it to you. I mean, this is crazy. All right. 2,000 pigs. Why won't it kill swine? Okay. There were 2,000 pigs There it is. I'm just looking for the number because I want you guys to see this. Do you understand that 2000 is the Earth age? Some people say it's 2,160 years, but in general, it is roughly 2,000 years. Okay? Were sent into 2,000 pigs. This is in the book of Mark, I believe, because they retell the stories a couple different times, right? In different gospels. Guess what, you guys? 2,000 years after Jesus performed this miracle puts us in the beginning of the age of Aquarius. The water sign. We're here. He's returning. These are the last days. Don't let anyone tell you anything different. Now watch this. Oops, it's going to blow you away even more. Because the disciples were preparing for the Passover. Where do you want us to prepare for it? The disciples asked Jesus. To pass over into the new earth age of Aquarius. He answered, Jesus said to them, when you enter the city, a man carrying a jug of water will meet you. That is the sign for Aquarius. Here is the man carrying the jug of water. The signs are in the heavens, and the kingdom of heaven is within. How did Jesus know? If this was all written by Freemasons who aren't supposed to have understood the precession of the equinox at the time this was written in 60 AD, how did they know that in 2,000 years that the Aquarius would be on the horizon? Because Jesus is the Son of God. Where did Jesus tell them to go? The upper rooms. See if it says it here in the King James. Bearing a pitcher of water, follow him into the house. What do they call when you go from one earth age to another in the zodiac? They call them houses. Okay. Now, if this isn't resonating with you, we're going to go into much more detail, overlaying the Bible to each earth age. We're focused on Aquarius and Pisces right now just because someone had asked the question about Aquarius, but we're going to go into more detail, all the other Bible stories that overlay all of the other earth ages. And it's fascinating. Again, a future show. And what else do we have here? Back in the chat, you guys, let's answer a couple more questions. I want to keep these down to like hour and a half. I don't want them to be too long because this information can get overwhelming. It all has to kind of settle in. All right. Gosh, we have no trolls in here tonight. This is awesome. Adrian, I see some new faces in here. See some old friends. There's Debbie. Identify this. You're welcome, Adrian. Much love to you. Sometimes, you know, some of us are right brain thinkers and some of us are left brain thinkers. Some of us are Messiah brain thinkers. Some of us are science-based thinkers. God can reach all of us. Even the most scientific mind cannot deny what have showed you guys, and I'm just barely about 10% into it. He can reach us all. Why? Because he's amazing. He's infinite. He's the God of the universe. And he can do anything. You think he didn't have a plan to reach people in the last days? Of course he had a plan. I'm glad to be part of it. Okay, Hollywood spends so much time discrediting God and making you, like this. What was it? What was it? Identify this. What's that show? Oh, American Gods or something. Where they discredit God and make you put you through heartache and tragedy in your life. They kidnap your kids. But where's the truth? It's because they've hidden the truth. And they mock you. They're mocking God every turn they get. Even when they try to show God, they mock him. And I'll never forget, I was watching a thriller. It was about a girl that got abducted right out of the front yard. And I think it had Jake Gyllenhaal in it, I think was in it. And it was a story about this family, and they were heartbroken. And the dad never gave up. He kept searching and searching for his daughter. And finally, he found her. And they had dug a hole and buried her in a pit, put a board over it, and drove a car over it so no one would ever find her. And when the man finally knocked on the door, a woman answered the door. And he had no idea she was the kidnapper. And she quickly overtook him because he was caught off guard. And she threw him down in the pit. While he was down there, she said to him, "This is how we wage war on God. We steal your children. When you can't find them, you have lost all hope in God. Because you think, what kind of God would allow this? This is how they wage war on God." And that is the truth, you guys. That is the truth. Don't give in to that hate. Don't give in to that hopelessness. There's hope. And if the enemy is spending all this time fighting God and misrepresenting him in their movies and TV, then you can believe there is a God. Why would they spend all why aren't we seeing TV shows of stuff that has nothing to do with God? If all these people are supposed to be atheists, why do we keep finding these biblical themes in everything they do? Because it's sorcery. They're trying to turn you off to God subliminally. How many times do we see the David and Goliath story played out over and 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 over again? The underdog, the small guy fighting the giant. How many times do we see that story played out? How many times do we see the story of a flood played out? How many times do we see the story of a Jezebel? Now, there's a million other places you guys could be tonight, but as you're here listening, it's all I ever asked from you guys, is to listen to the truth. Again, this is part one of a series. Looks like they're going to give us some more technical difficulties, so I think this is probably a good time to let you guys go. Love you guys. And we'll do this again soon. Maybe Sunday we'll have part two. Take care and be safe.